As coronavirus continues to surge around the country, what you see on the news tends to be the worst scenarios. But there are wide swaths of rural America that have had an entirely different experience. Today, we begin at one of the last places in the country to see its first case of COVID-19. And what stands out isn't how long the virus took to get there, but how they handled things once it arrived. It's bacon and eggs for breakfast at the one and only local cafe, where life looks pretty much like it has for most of the past few weeks, years, and even decades.
The town office is also a historic building.
Vicki Fix is mayor of Ekalaka, Montana, population somewhere a bit north of 300, 1,200 in the whole county. Founded around 1885.
It started by a man who wanted to build a saloon, and his wagon got stuck in the mud, and he said, well, this looks as good a place as any, and so he started a saloon.
As it happens, this old western town was one of the last places in America to get its first case of coronavirus. While much of the world saw alarming numbers starting last spring, it would be another 6 months before COVID-19 would find its way here.
I mean, this ain't the end of the world, but you can see it from here.
At the Wagon Wheel Cafe, the first people I talked to had recently caught and survived coronavirus.
I just got turned loose yesterday morning.
Did you think it was coming, though?
Oh, yeah. It's just like anything else. Our turn was coming.
My daughters called me and told me that I probably had it because they got it.
How'd you feel?
Just a slight cold with it. That was it.
Here in Ekalaka, by the time they finally got their very first case of coronavirus, they say they'd already learned a lot by watching what had happened everywhere else.
Like, we were just kind of watching it because it didn't seem like ever real here. Not that it wasn't real, but we weren't like actually experiencing it. We weren't like going into big stores where everybody was wearing a mask everywhere and everybody was social distancing, you know. We were just still like our little town, taking our own precautions, but it was nothing as big as like on the news, like what we saw everywhere else.
Rayleigh Montgomery says the community suffered greatly during the spring shutdown and watched the rest of the world suffer too.
The crisis in New York reaching a critical mass. Paramedics now empowered to make life and death decisions.
We were 6 months out from even having it close to our county, and we're locked down.
Sheriff Neil Kittleman also just got over a bout with COVID-19.
When it finally got here, then we could have shut down, but like I said, when it got here, people's already tired of the games.
Well, at first they locked us down like everybody else. When we didn't have a case, we went on and on for quite a while. We were even doing our services online entirely for a few weeks.
At the First Baptist Church, Pastor Steve DeFord says after the spring closure, time passed, nobody got sick, and things eventually went back to normal. By the time coronavirus did rear its ugly head, they were determined to resist another shutdown. So unlike much of the rest of the country, they haven't missed a beat with in-person Sunday church.
I wanted to emphasize that. Any other prayer requests here this morning?
And would you say life is going on pretty much as it was?
Yeah, it's going on kind of as usual in a way. For one thing, we live in an agricultural ranching community, and I'm sorry, the animals have to be fed. Life has to go on. You can't just shut down the supplies that are needed to maintain those ranches, or you got to just keep moving, keep going.
Perhaps the most interesting story is what's happened with Ekalaka schools.
Yeah, in the beginning is when schools shut down, and like around here, like pretty much every family you find, there's going to be 4 to 6 kids, a lot. So it was tough on a lot of people to have all their kids home, and a lot of times people are at ranches, they don't have internet or anything, so it was really hard for us to access like schooling.
With schools shut down last spring, it was hard on everyone. Teachers and school employees made this video. When May came and they still didn't have a single case, they had their high school graduation ceremony.
You may move your tassels. We're officially done with high school. Congratulations to the class of 2020 graduates.
We didn't own.
Stephen Eli is the high school principal and school superintendent. He moved here from Florida after the spring shutdown, just in time to deliberate a fall closing when coronavirus finally arrived.
The effect on the students here must have been dramatic in the spring because they were adamant. We had a board meeting where there was talk about not coming back to school for a few weeks. A majority of our students showed up and demanded that they be allowed to come to school. They didn't want to go home. They didn't want distance learning. They wanted to be at school. And they stood up and voiced their opinion in a very, very adult way. When some adults weren't being much adult about it, they were.
And so school went forward in Ekalaka. Even with coronavirus in town, they played a full fall of team sports.
When I had a chance to speak to our football team and to our girls volleyball team, I said, listen, you're blessed. Not everybody in this country is going to get to go out and play tonight. You guys get to. Don't ever think that, we're out here in Ekalaka, Montana, and nobody cares about us. Well, people care about you, and you need to be proud of the fact that you get to do this.
A little bit, yeah. Teaching looks different here, too. Mrs. Sharon Carroll, the math teacher, is back now, but not long ago she was under quarantine after contact with someone who had coronavirus. Instead of shuttering the doors, they flipped the script. Kids still came to class.
Each number once and only once.
Here, she's actually speaking to the class from home through the TV monitor.
It's business as usual for the kids. It's been very seamless. It seems to be a whole lot easier for the one or two that have to be out to get into the classroom than just to say everybody's got to go and have a teacher in this room by themselves trying to get to all these homes. And in this case, it's been very effective.
During our visit, about 80 people in the county of 1,200 had gotten COVID-19. And all in all, the townsfolk told us, just because they're handling things differently doesn't mean they're not taking it seriously.
I think it's serious enough it killed people, so it's serious.
They just say every community has unique needs and should decide what's best for them.
Even our governor needs to just stay back and let the locals take care of the locals. That's the way the system's supposed to run.
We aren't reckless, we aren't careless. We ought to obviously try to practice good hygiene. We sanitize and do things like that around here. In the end, it's God who's going to protect us, and that's been primarily my focus.
When we visited, there had been 3 coronavirus deaths in Ekalaka, all in the local nursing home where they say everyone isolated, sterilized, and masked religiously.